Reality, as Sandeep had mentioned in his presentation, it's about taking the real world around you as seen through the phone's camera, and bringing virtual content and imposing it or laying it on top of the real world that you are seeing. So let me start with an application which I frankly it's one of my favorite applications, and I think you guys will probably appreciate this more. So this is so Maclean's is a Canadian magazine. So they have articles in their magazine, just like any magazine. Now what they did is in their January issue, they decided to make their stories in the magazine come to life. So what they did is they simply had in their magazine these two images, right? There was no story or any text around this, and what they asked their viewers to do is to experience this story, download this Maclean's augmented reality application, which is there in the Android market, and just basically experience.
Our demo was being nasty to us. Okay. So some demo must go wrong. I think it's just good.
Yeah. Okay, let me come back to this demo.
Will it let you come back to home screen?
Yeah, let's come back at all.
Steps.
Yeah, you want to just try and do this?
Do you want me to reboot it?
Yeah.
You want to just like do a battery pull? Yeah. Oops. Don't take a picture of that.
Or it's video.
Yes. Just restart it. So again, I mean, while this restarts, so I think the key angle is that the fact that once you have AR, you can, unlike a lot of people confuse this with kind of like QR code. So QR code, what it is, like like this one single activity, it can point to a web page or something. Right here, you actually have content that's interactive built into the app, or it can ping a server that get that content, and it's interactive. Like QR code is just point and done. So once you overlay the image, the beauty of AR is that the content is actually interactive. You can actually move it around. You can do stuff with it. We are not showing you my favorite AR demo today. Unfortunately, I got ruled out. But that's like you can actually point your phone to a basketball season pass and actually play basketball on it. There's a field and everything gets overlaid. Actually pointing at it.
We can still do that.
We have the target?
Yeah,
we can show it later.
Yeah.
Or we can do a match later.
No, since it's your favorite, then we'll bring it back.
So and this is the new favorite we have. For example, you could imagine this is actually a billiards table, and you point your phone to it, and your phone you actually get a full billiards pair, and you could actually, we're not showing it here, but what you could do is, let's say you have a friend over, they could put the same app on and then connect over Bluetooth, and you could actually take turns playing, and you could print this out nice and big, the size of your table, and the minute you point your camera to it, it will convert to a pool table, and you can actually play pool on that. So I think someone should think of this for a golf as well. But I think for now, CEOs are going to be very happy with the whole new kind of tabletop. Wow, that was fast. Snapdragon boot. At least it boots fast, man. I have to say. So okay, let's hope this works now.
Yep.
Has it ever crashed before, by the way?
No. Not during demos.
Not during demos, right? Okay.
You guys have the privilege witnessing a first.
Stuff crashes. No, they're used to it. I have found in my many years of doing demos that most apps will choose to crash exactly when there's this group of you guys around expectantly watching what's this great thing, and then it'll say, oops.
Yeah. So I've just started the app. So basically, it tells me about. All right. So let's just go straight to the experience. Right, so this is what the app shows. So it shows the two stories that are there in the print magazine, and gives you the option of choosing one. So let me first start with Mr. Moose. So I mean the story, so what it does is as soon as I select the story, it starts the camera, and as soon as I point my camera to this. Can you guys see? So basically what it does is it actually shows a moose, right, on the story. It superimposes the graphics of a moose here. So then it becomes an audio story, and And it's talking about the story, which is why the moves in Canada are leading to accidents on the road, because they cross the road at any point in time.
And then something happened. There's a road that came.
Yeah. That's the game. Right. So this actually it kind of shows what is actually happening. See, so it actually shows that
you can actually it can actually tell you that there was a moose on the road and your car crashed or whatever, and you can restart it. So a little bit more interactive than what you can normally do with a typical magazine page. So the idea being that you could actually make content a lot more interactive without necessarily having to go online. And the beauty is, of course, that now you don't have to fight with editorial teams for 10 pages of your story. You can actually pack all of that in as a single page. Right? The editor's got to love it. Right? Less stuff to copy it.
Correct. And keeps the readers engaged.
And keeps the readers engaged. Right? I mean, if I can do all of this on a magazine, chances are I'm going to read it more often and try some of this cool stuff.
We'll just hunt for that link and click that.
Do you want to go to billiards?
Yeah, we can do that. So the other story, by the way, is similar, where it talks about how this cyclist actually got into an accident and he's into concoction, and they're trying to analyze what happened with the whole accident. So it basically actually, let me just show it.
Hi, I'm Kathy Cooley, Associate Editor at Maclean's.
Right, so you can see, they are actually showing,
mobile experience.
if you point it to
Brain
the...
scientists in Canada and the United States have been doing pioneering work in trying to understand the complex relationship between hits to the head and concussions. One of the most talked about incidents is that of Sidney Crosby, who took a huge hit from David Steckel during last year's NHL Winter Classic game. Researchers at the University of Ottawa have replicated that infamous hit at the Neurotrauma Impact Science.
So they're actually, just showing it in an animated form, which just allows the user. I mean, if the reader is not very familiar with the whole thing, it just gets an easy way to see what happened.
And by the way, all this rendering and all that is happening live. It's not like it's playing a video. So if I was to take this stuff away, it'll go on, but your rendering will stop.
Inside the dummy head, 9 sensors pick up data at a rate of 20,000 times per second.
Yeah. So we had Times group try this with their property issue.
Times property.
Yeah, Times property
booking. Okay. The movie. Is that a book my show?
Yes.
What is important here in the context of Snapdragon is there are so many things being done at the same time on the processor, right? You're capturing the scene, you're analyzing the scene, comparing, trying to detect what is happening, and then superimposing the real-time object, right? And also processing things. So all that requires a very
all that is happening at the same time, while it's not stopping your Facebook updates from happening or your web browser from running or something. So the point is that you have actual real true multitasking enabled. And another way to think about this is that of course we have like small targets here for demo, but there is no reason why, for example, what Dawn guys did, and we'll show that to you in a minute. They actually got this as a target app, and if they could have printed this as a 50-feet billboard or a 10-foot standee at a theater, or they could have printed this on a ticket, they could put it in a newspaper as an ad, whatever they do. Wherever the person points it at, he can actually see about the movie. You could think about the same thing with games, right? I mean, if I had, okay, so we want to show this first, okay.
You can have the trailer, you can have
the trailer, you can know about the movie, you can have access to all kinds of content. You could also, traditionally go ahead and...
So this app is what Hungama developed for Eros. Right? And
is it like NFC?
No, this is actually an Android application. And what it does is, so when I tap, right, so it basically opens up the camera again.
As long as it recognizes the image, it will
exactly.
do the necessary.
That's right. So as soon as it recognizes the image, right, it opens up a trailer. This was actually, they gave an exclusive trailer of this for the application. So that kind of also created more excitement among users to download the app and watch the trailer.
So you can see that there are various aspects in which you could actually use augmented reality. What you could also do is, for example, one way to think about it is, let's say you go to see the Taj Mahal or pyramids or something, right? Any simple app would let you point it and pull content from Wikipedia or somewhere, right? Now, what would be really cool is if you could actually interact with the object itself. Right? I mean, anybody can pull content from multiple sources and show it, but how many of them will actually first recognize that this is actually the Eiffel Tower or the pyramid or whatever, and then not only give content, actually let you play with it. You could move it around in 3D and understand what the history was, play a video, and that is going to be all completely rendered on the fly. None of that would be like pre-canned, preloaded content. I mean, you could preload it, but you could also just pull it off the web.
So we'll move on to this the next demo, which is it's a pool game, right? So again, as Varun had said, this thing can be it's a simple image which you can just put, let's say, in your living room. But how you can let's say you have some friends over, how you can make this actually pretty interesting. So I'll play a solo game right now.
It doesn't want to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play with him.
This is the fun part about marketing. We get to play all these games and say, I'm testing demos. More issues.
Just pointing to the image and it's just opening a new game.
No,
It's
actually,
not augmented reality.
It's an application which does that.
It'll actually this one. Hang on. Did you download the wrong version?
No, it's just the same version actually.
These individual elements, will you be able to interact with them?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
I'm not fully sure why it's not doing that right now. But typically, you would have like a normal camera, the way you have a camera,
And you
and
interact with
then
stuff
you would
on
look at
the
it,
paper.
and then you would actually have like the way you move it around, your viewing point of the table would change. And,
I think the PS Vita also does it very
What?
good.
Let me get the hoops one.
oh, the hoops one? Okay, so we'll show you a different one. Billiards doesn't seem to be playing nice with us today, so they are.
I think there are a lot of Android apps which do these kind of.
So all of these, all the apps we're showing you today, you can actually go and download it from the market world. So none of this is like hidden secret stuff from somewhere else.
But it will work only on a server. Is it specific to the processor or?
It works best on Snapdragon is what I can tell you. I don't want to talk about competition.